Welcome back to Things You Don't Know. I'm Chandler Foster, and today I'm here with my wonderful co-hosts and compatriots, Dr. William Weaver and Dr. Sean Deneen. Today, we're talking about something almost everyone has used, but probably hasn't thought much about. Ziploc bags.
Yeah, we finally lost our minds, right? Uh,
Yes.
Look, they're in lunchboxes, freezers, suitcases, junk drawers, classrooms, and probably somewhere in your kitchen right this very moment.
And even though they seem simple, Ziploc bags have a pretty interesting history. They changed the way people stored food, organized items, and even packed for travel.
So in this episode, we'll cover where Ziploc bags came from, why they were invented, the different types, and some of the clever ways that people use them.
Yeah, you know, this is one of those inventions that I kind of go, what? How did he come up with this? Really? Who would have thought of that? Anyhow, let's start with the basics here. The Ziploc bag is a flexible plastic bag that seals using an interlocking plastic track. You press the two sides together and the grooves lock into place. Who would have thought of doing that, though?
I don't know, but I do know that seal helps keep air, water, and dirt out depending on the type of the bag. It also helps keep the food fresher and prevents spills, and I'm a little sloppy, so anything that avoids spills I like.
I have to say, I agree with you there, Dr. Deneen. Now, the most common version is the sandwich bag or the freezer bag, but the same idea is used in storage bags, travel bags, vacuum bags, and even some medical or industrial
Yeah,
packaging.
that's really true. The key feature is that it's resealable. Before this, a lot of storage was done with paper bags, which is a really terrible way to try to store something, unless it's non perishable, glass jars, which is still probably superior to Ziploc bags, but still, the bags don't take up so much space. Metal tins or plastic wrap. Those worked, but they were not always the most convenient things.
Well, since I'm the historian, let's look at the history a
All
little
right,
bit
go for
here.
it.
The zipper style plastic bag goes back to the mid 20th century. The idea of a plastic zipper was developed before the bags became common in
Mhm.
households.
Now, one important name is Borge Matson, and he invented a form of plastic zipper in the 1950s. Its design helped lead to resealable plastic packaging.
Okay, I can see that. A plastic zipper, right? At first, these
Yeah,
resealable plastic closures were not mainly used for food storage. They were used more for industrial and commercial packaging.
Then somebody had the idea that it could be adapted into plastic bags. In the late 1960s, a company called Minigrip licensed zipper technology and helped bring resealable plastic bags into wider use.
eventually, the product made its way into grocery stores. In the late 1960s, Dow Chemical introduced Ziploc bags to consumers.
And that's where the name becomes interesting because Ziploc is technically a brand name, but people often use Zip Lock or Ziploc to describe almost any resealable plastic bag.
It's kind of like how people say Band Aid for any adhesive bandage or Kleenex for tissues.
The list goes on and on. We could talk about a lot of those cases where the product becomes so common that the brand name becomes the everyday term.
Mhm. So, why were Ziploc bags invented in the first place? The short answer is convenience.
People needed a way to store things securely without needing clips, twist ties, jars, boxes, or tape.
That's right, Dr. Deneen. And once plastic became cheaper and more common, it made sense to create a lightweight, disposable, resealable
For
container.
food, the benefit was huge. A Ziploc bag could hold a sandwich, leftovers, fruit, snacks, or meat for freezing. It took up less space than a container and could be sealed very quickly and easily.
It also helped to reduce mess. If you've ever had a leaky lunch or freezer burn food, you know exactly why a better seal mattered.
Plus, they were clear. That sounds simple, but being able to see what's inside without opening the bag is really
That's a
useful.
really good point, Chandler. Yes.
Let's talk about the design for a second. The original Ziploc style uses two plastic strips, one with a ridge and one with a groove.
When you press them together, the ridge fits into the groove and creates a seal.
And some newer bags also have a sliding tab, which makes it easier to close the bag evenly.
Now that matters because with regular press to seal bags, sometimes people think they closed the bag, but one tiny section is still open.
The slider helps avoid that, especially for larger bags or for freezer bags.
Absolutely. Now, there are also double zipper designs, which use two sealing tracks instead of one. Now, those are usually meant to give extra protection against leaks or freezer burn. Now, there's something else I'd like to point out here. No matter what kind of bag you have, be it the zipper or the one that you seal, always make sure that before you zip the bag or seal the bag, that the air is completely let out of the bag. Right, Dr.
Yeah, as
Weaver?
much as is possible. You can't get it all out unless you use a vacuum pump, which they have those. They have bags, zip bags that actually you can attach a little vacuum thing to and suck out all the air. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's a good one. I have one too, and boy, they preserve food even longer. Wow, yes. So now let's go through the different types. First, the classic sandwich bag.
Now these are lightweight bags used for sandwiches, chips, fruit, cookies, and small snacks.
Absolutely. Now, they're usually not as thick as freezer bags, so they're best for short-term
Right
storage.
on. Next are storage bags. These are slightly larger and stronger. People use them for leftovers, meal prep, school supplies, craft materials, and also random household items
Then we have freezer bags. These are thicker and designed to protect food in cold
to guard
temperatures.
against the dreaded freezer burn.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Freezer bags help reduce the freezer burn by limiting air exposure. They're commonly used for meat, vegetables, soups, sauces, and prepared meals.
Yippers. And the other type is the slider bag. I kind of like those because sometimes the other ones are hard to know that you haven't sealed unless you double and triple check. These slider bags have a small plastic slider that moves across the top, which just automatically seals the bag. It's really cool.
They're very useful when you want a quick, reliable close. They're also easier for kids or people with exceptionalities like me who sometimes have a little trouble pressing the seal shut.
There are also snack bags, which are smaller than sandwich bags. These are good for crackers, nuts, candy, grapes, or just small
Yeah.
portions.
So they're going to be putting us in bags, huh? They want nuts in the bag? Oh my God.
Yeah, me
Looks it
definitely.
looks that way.
Yeah, I think so.
Then there are the gallon bags and even larger sizes, which people use for marinating food, organizing clothes, even storing documents, or packing toiletries.
And beyond the kitchen, there are heavy duty resealable bags used for tools, electronics, medical supplies, and industrial parts.
Yes, and some are even designed to be waterproof anti-static, or tamper resistant.
Yes. So, common uses, let's look at those. The obvious use is food storage. Ziploc bags keep snacks fresh, separate ingredients, and make packing lunches easier.
They're also useful for freezing food. You can flatten soup, sauce, or ground meat in a freezer bag so it stacks neatly and thaws faster.
Another popular use is marinating. Put meat or vegetables in a bag with marinade, seal it, and the food gets coated evenly without needing a big bowl to do it in.
Yep. And they're good. They're really good for travel. People use them to hold toiletries, chargers, medicine, passports, makeup, although I haven't used it for that myself, and small items that might leak.
If you're flying, a clear resealable quart size bag is often used for liquids and carry on luggage.
And they're useful for organization too. Batteries, screws, puzzle pieces, craft supplies, receipts, cables, all of those can go into Ziploc
Yep.
bags.
Parents sometimes use them for diapers, wipes, extra clothes, snacks, and toys.
Teachers use them for classroom supplies, flashcards, markers, small game pieces, and student projects.
And outdoors, people use them to protect matches, maps, phones, or first aid supplies from water and dirt.
Yes, that is absolutely true. Now for some less obvious uses.
Oh, and some unexpected too, right, Dr. Weaver?
Yeah.
I love the unexpected.
Yeah. One clever use is as a makeshift piping bag for frosting.
You fill the bag with icing, cut a tiny corner off and squeeze. It's not fancy, but it works.
Yes, it does. And another one is crushing crackers and cookies without making a mess. You put them in the bag, you seal it, and then crush them with your hands or a rolling pin.
Ziploc bags can also be used for portioning meals. People who meal prep often divide food into bags before freezing or refrigerating it.
Here's a use I got some personal experience with. My late grandfather was an artist, and these bags are also handy for storing paintbrushes. He would often do that. If you're painting and need a short break, you can seal the brush in the bag to keep it from drying out too fast.
And some people use them as mini greenhouses for seed starting. A damp paper towel and seeds inside a clear bag can help with germination.
And for emergencies, they can keep important documents dry during storms or travel.
They're simple, ladies and gentlemen, but they solve a lot of problems.
Yes, they do. But now, we should talk about the downside too, though, Dr. Deneen. Ziploc bags are usually made from plastic, often polyethylene.
That means they can contribute to plastic waste if they're thrown away after one use. And certainly we have a serious issue with that. There is an island in the ocean, right, Dr. Deneen, that is made of plastic.
There is, heaven help us all. Some people wash and reuse the bags, especially if they've only held dry foods like crackers or bread.
Right, but if a bag held raw meat, greasy food, or anything unsafe, it's better not to use it for food.
Yeah. There are also reusable silicone bags now. They work like Ziploc bags, but they are a bit thicker, washable, and they are meant to be used many times.
The trade off is that they cost more up front and they take more effort to clean.
Another alternative is using glass containers, metal lunch boxes, beeswax wraps, or compostable bags, depending on what the need is.
So Ziploc bags are convenient, but like many convenient products that come with environmental concerns.
Here's a few quick facts. Like we said, the term Zip-Lok is a brand name, but a Zip-Lok bag is often used as a general term.
Second, resealable bags are used far beyond kitchens. They show up in hospitals, laboratories, factories, and police evidence storage.
Third, the slider version was created to make sealing easier and more reliable.
Fourth, freezer bags are thicker than regular storage bags because they're meant to reduce air exposure and protect food at low temperatures.
And fifth, Ziploc bags are popular because they combine three simple things: flexibility, visibility, and resealability.
Yes, and six is the other bags that I mentioned, the bags that you can vacuum out that have a little vacuum lock. After you seal it, you attach the vacuum to that, turn it on, it sucks all the air out, which makes them even better at sealing things.
I actually didn't know those existed, Dr. Weaver. That's pretty interesting. I
Yeah,
have to check those
yeah, you
out.
will, because I mean, I didn't think there were much, but then I saw it at the store and I got it and got some of those special bags that they have for it. Works quite nicely, actually.
All right.
So today, we learned that Ziploc bags are more than just something you throw a sandwich into.
They came from the development of plastic zipper technology, moved from industrial packaging into everyday home use, and became one of the most recognizable storage tools in the world.
They were invented because people wanted a simple, lightweight, resealable way to protect their organized things.
Yeah, protect and organize those things. Yeah. Now they come in all kinds of types: sandwich bags, snack bags, freezer bags, slider bags, heavy duty bags, reusable versions, and vacuum bags.
Their uses go way beyond food. They help with travel, storage, school, crafts, emergencies, and all kinds of organization.
Yes, but they also remind us that convenience has a cost, especially when it comes to single use plastic.
Yeah. And also, this is just another one of those things that we use all the time, we have every day, and we never think about them. So, anyhow, that's it for this episode of Things You Don't Know.
Please leave a like and a comment, and check out our canning podcast for another example of storage. See you soon, folks.
Bye bye, folks. Come back soon. We got some nice stuff coming up.
Bye for now.